Welcome back to the Retro in 3. For today's Retro in 3, since I'm still in a Castlevania tip, let's take a look at one of the more beloved and underrated entries in the franchise. That's right, today we're looking at Castlevania Bloodlines. Released in 1994 on the Sega Genesis, Castlevania Bloodlines will mark the first and only time a Castlevania game would hit a Sega platform. It would also mark the first time a Castlevania game will let players select between two main characters at the start of the game, and it will mark the first game in the series in which the main character wasn't a Belmont. Playing as John Morris, or his friend Eric Lacard, players travel throughout Europe in order to stop Dracula's niece, Elizabeth Bartley. John Morris is the son of Quincy Morris, and the game's plot was basically an attempt to integrate Bram Stoker's Dracula novel into the Castlevania franchise. In addition, Elizabeth Bartley, the game's villain, is inspired in part by Elizabeth Bathory, the infamous Countess of Blood. John is a traditional whip user, while Eric makes use of a spear. Some stages will have alternate routes which will only be accessible to a single character based on their abilities. John can swing past gaps with his whip, and Eric can use his spear to do high jumps. You also get the usual Castlevania sub-weapons, such as the cross, the axe, and the holy water. This game pushed the Sega Genesis hardware to its limits. It's got some of the best effects seen on the platform. While Super Castlevania 4 will always be my favorite of the 16-bit Castlevania games, Bloodlines comes at a close second when it comes to the visuals. Also, the soundtrack is full of bangers. This was the first Castlevania game that composer, Michiru Yamane, would compose music for. She would later go on to create music for other Castlevania games, most notably Symphony of the Night. She would also produce music for non-Castlevania games such as Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, and Skullgirls. Bloodlines will receive a sequel of sorts in 2006 with the Nintendo DS title Portrait of Ruin, in which players played as John Morris' son. If you want to find the original cartridge, it will run you anywhere from $40 and up, depending on the condition, on eBay. However, the game is included as part of the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, which is available on every major platform along with PC. This includes save states, options for screen settings, and the ability to choose either the US or Japanese version. It's also part of the Sega Genesis Collection for the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack, and it's included on the Sega Genesis Mini. If you're not a stickler for the original hardware, it's easy to find the game if you want to play it. Anyway, that's all for now, and follow me for more gaming content.